Good morning, New Thought, Northern Colorado. We're so glad you're here with us this morning. Welcome to another morning of gathering together from the comfort of our homes until it becomes safe to gather in person again. But we'll continue to gather both online and in person going forward when it is safe. So just take this time to appreciate being together and sharing a little love today. New Thought Northern Colorado is a powerful spiritual community, lovingly committed to a world of acceptance, compassion, peace, and joy. We're so glad that you're joining us. Our practitioner holding us all in prayer today is Deborah J. Dawkins. And so just settle back right now and let's have some music and an opening prayer.
Oh, good morning, all you beautiful, powerful individuals. It's a beautiful day to be part of New Thought, and it's a beautiful day to sing probably my favorite opening song. It's a special one for the first month of the year. Here we go. Everybody look around, cause there's a reason to rejoice, you see. Everybody come out, and let's commence to sing joyfully. Everybody look up and feel the hope that we've been waiting for. Everybody be glad, because our silent fear and dread are gone. Freedom, you see, has got our hearts singing so joyfully. Just look about, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Oh, can't you feel a brand new day? 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 Everybody be glad, because the sun is shining just for us. Everybody wake up into the morning, into happiness. And hello world, it's like a different way of living now. And thank you world, we always knew that we'd be free somehow. In harmony, and show the world we've got liberty. It's such a change for us to live so independently. Freedom, you see, has got our hearts singing so joyfully. Just look about, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Oh, can't you feel a brand new day? 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 Can't you feel the brand new day? Can't you feel the brand new day?
Somehow it had me muted again. Thank you, Jimmy. That was beautiful. So let's just take that into prayer right now as we move into our morning. And so what I know right now in this moment is that God is all there is, and that we are living, moving, and having our being in that presence and that essence that we know to be love and joy and peace and only good. So I know that this service moves forward in the very best way, unfolding to reveal the highest good, new insights, new ways to love ourselves and one another. And so as we move forward, I know Reverend Leah's message is absolutely heard and felt and taken in to the deepest level. I just give thanks for this community. I give thanks for this knowing. I give thanks for all of it. And we anchor this together by saying, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. Amen. Good morning, everyone. So glad to be with you this morning. Let's, as we do every Sunday, let's place our hands on our hearts, take some deep breaths. Let's harmonize our minds and our hearts together. By saying care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion, care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion, care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. So I heard recently at the Center for Spiritual Living that they did a focus group a while back where they asked people the one word to describe what they wanted to experience in life. And that word was freedom. They found that freedom was the thing that people most want to experience. Now, peace was important and happiness was important, but it was freedom that was the most important one. I thought that was interesting. And if you think about it, you might agree, because when we're experiencing freedom, everything else comes out of that, doesn't it? When we're experiencing freedom, peace is possible, happiness is possible. All things are possible when we're experiencing freedom. And so today, what I'm going to talk about is moving into the present moment, because when we move into the present moment and embrace the now, freedom is possible. Now, many of us have been on a spiritual path for a long time. And so if we've been on a spiritual path, we know what it's like to move into the present. We've experienced it. We've experienced it in our meditations, in our spiritual practices. But it's important to be reminded of it, because I think that so often life keeps us in our heads, does it not? Our minds can be a dangerous place. The mind is sneaky. It can create stories and convince us of things that aren't true. Our mind, without warning, will quickly carry us into the future, or it will move us into the past where we get stuck. We can get stuck in these places, daydreaming about some future experience or ruminating over a painful experience from the past. And if you think about it, if you really think about it, likely most of your attention and your energy is spent either thinking about the past or thoughts about the future. Rarely are we in that present moment. Unless we are meditating, rarely do we consciously choose to put ourselves into that present space, into that present moment. So how often, ask yourself the question, how often am I in the present? Like really present. How often do you get to experience that? Without preparing for the next day or the rest of the day or for what you're going to make for dinner, right? Like really present. Really present. We get to experience that present when we get quiet. We drop into our heart. We move into that stillness. We focus on our breath instead of what we're going to make for dinner. We get quiet and we tune into that deeper place within us. And when we're present, we are able to fully embrace the now. We can fully embrace what is happening in our life, because when we're present, everything has slowed down. And we can look at our life more from an observer standpoint than allowing what we're witnessing to stick to us like Velcro. Sometimes the best thing for us is to be present, with whatever it is that we are feeling, experiencing in our life, and to embrace it fully. But other times, embracing it, particularly something that's painful or traumatic, is not the best thing to do. It's not the most healthy thing for us to do. So we have to discern for ourselves what is needed in the moment and what is for our highest and best good. Spiritual discernment is a powerful and important thing on the spiritual path. Embracing the now is saying that on some level, we recognize that what is happening in our life is the very thing that we have called in to help us expand who we are. And when we say yes to it, the resistance fades, the judgment fades, the stories that we want to make up about the situation, all of that dissipates. And freedom is what remains. Bring your attention to what is happening right now in your life. But do so as an observer. See if you can do it as an observer. Set aside the stories, the judgments, just observe what is happening in your relationships, your work life, your family life, your health, financial affairs, all of it. See it as an observer. Observe it without letting anything stick to you. Become really present to these experiences. And take a deep breath as you stand back and observe. What are they trying to communicate to you about your life? The future and the past aren't trying to get your attention as much as it may seem so, because they haven't happened yet, or they are over. They've happened in the past. The present is trying to get your attention. It's asking you to pay attention, to notice, to breathe, to allow, to receive. As hard as it is sometimes, the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is to embrace what is right in front of us and to be with what is coming up for us. The resistance, the sadness, the anger, whatever it is. As much as we want to push it away, these are parts of ourselves that just want to be loved. Sometimes we resist the negative feelings because we've been given the false impression that if we're on a spiritual path, that it's not okay to have these feelings. But because it's all God, God is merely saying, hi, this is something for you to look at. This is something that needs your attention and your love right now. So if there's resistance or anger or some other emotion that persists, it doesn't mean that you failed as a spiritual person. It just means that there's a part of you that needs some attention and some healing and some love right now. Moving into the present moment to be with whatever is there is giving ourselves full permission to be there, to receive, to allow. And what a beautiful gift we can give to ourselves, because it forces us to slow down. It forces us to set aside the mind stories and the to-do lists and the past hurts. And for those few moments, drop into the present and feel all that's there. We can't move through something hard in our lives without fully feeling it. It's not possible. Some of you are thinking right now, damn, I wish that wasn't the case, yeah? We have to feel it in order to move through it. It takes a lot of courage to do this. Something may be there that we don't want to feel or we don't want to look at. But this is where trust comes in. Trusting that the divine knows what we need in every moment. We aren't going to fall apart. God's got this. God's holding that net for us to fall into. We just have to take a deep breath and be willing to at least dip our toe in and feel into that present space, that present moment. If we're willing to courageously step into this present moment awareness, we can ask what it wants to tell us or show us. You may be surprised at what it wants to show you. Eckhart Tolle said, accept, then act. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your whole life. And here's what's available to us if we're willing to do that. Once we are brave enough to tune in and be with the feelings and the emotions that are there, freedom is possible. Peace and joy is on the other side. And you know what else is there? In that present space, in that present moment, God. God is there to take our hand. God is found in that space. And yes, freedom, therefore, is there. And joy is there, and peace, and love, and happiness. So perhaps we could say then that the key to freedom, peace, love, joy, and happiness is embracing the now. Ernest Holmes said, "Here and now we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. All of it. The infinite good that God is available to us all if we are willing to receive it." I want to share a story of my own experience in embracing the now. It was in 2010. I had been working at the University of Colorado Boulder for about a year. And I was in my office, and my office at the time was the size of a closet, like no kidding. Like when clients would come in for career appointments, it was our knees almost touched together. It was pretty funny. I had a window that looked out. It was on a garden level, and it looked out, and I could watch the students pass by during the day, which was kind of fun. And one day, I had an experience that I can only describe as a mystical one. I was sitting in my office, and out of nowhere, suddenly my analytical mind shut off. All the stories of the future, the past, all of it was gone. I dropped right into the present moment without even trying. Everything slowed way down. All I could feel was this feeling that all is well. I was aware of the challenges in my life. I was aware of what was going on in the world at the time. But suddenly, whatever stories or thoughts that I had attached to them, they were all gone. All I could feel was this feeling that all is well. Despite the chaos in the world, everything was in divine right order. I looked out my window and I saw the students walking by, and I was filled with this inner knowing that no matter what each of them was experiencing in their life, that all was well. It was a beautiful, deep knowing. And I knew in that moment that we were taken care of by the divine. That no matter how hard a life appears to be for us as human beings, the greater truth is that all is well. The experience lasted for 3 days, 3 whole days. I didn't tell anyone because it was too hard to put into words what I was experiencing. And even now, it's hard to describe how profound it was. But what I can say is that as I look back, the divine gave me a tremendous gift that day. But over those 3 days, it brought me into the present moment and helped me to feel the energy and the presence of God and the beauty of the world that we live in. It forced me to slow down and see all that was around me in a whole new light, more from an observer standpoint than a victim. For the first time in my life, there were no stories, there were no judgments, there were no thoughts to fix or change or do anything. I was able to just be and to completely embrace what was happening in my life and in the lives of those around me. What I learned that day is that no matter what we are witnessing, what we are experiencing in our life, the truth is that all is well. And we can experience that if we're willing to slow down and get quiet enough to drop into the present space, to drop into the present moment. All is well means that the universe is conspiring for our highest and our greatest good, and is bringing to us the perfect experiences that will help us to grow and evolve as souls. Zen teacher Charlotte Joko Beck said, "Joy is exactly what's happening minus our opinion of it." So joy is in the moment. Joy is in the present moment. Peace is in the present moment. Freedom is found in the present moment. But we add our stories and our opinions about what we're experiencing, and that immediately takes us away from that present moment. It takes us away from being able to embrace and trust what is happening in our world and in our life. We are surrounded by and imbued with the beauty that is God. It is the very breath that we breathe. It is what vibrates and radiates through every cell of our being. As we move through our day, we are more in our human awareness than we are in our spiritual awareness. It's just the nature of living on this earthly plane. We are required to do human things every day. But if we are willing to take time regularly to drop into the present, we can touch into and connect with the divinity that we are and experience the freedom that we have been longing for. God is not found in the future or the past. God is found right here in this present moment. Our experience of all is well isn't found in the future or the past. It is found right here, right now, in this moment. Eckhart Tolle said, "As soon as you honor the present moment, all unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. When you act out the present moment awareness, whatever you do becomes imbued with a sense of quality, care, and love, even the most simple action." One of the reasons we talk about meditation and we include it in our practices is because it's a wonderful tool to take us out of our minds and to drop us right into our heart and into that present moment. For that brief period of time, we can set aside our plans and our goals and past hurts, and we can drop into the present moment and connect with spirit. There's a whole other world available to us that doesn't involve the future or the past, but we have to slow down in order to experience it. How often do you spend time communing with the divine? How often do you spend time focusing on nothing but your breath? When we are in those meditative moments, all is well. There's no past, there's no future, there's only now. All challenges, fears, worries have faded away for those few moments. This is why meditation is so powerful. And our mind, yes, may wander for brief moments, but when we're present, we are awake, we are aware, and we are connected to God. God is found in those quiet spaces. Yes, God is contained in all things, but our experience of God is only found in that present moment when we are in the stillness. Slowing ourselves down long enough to experience what is happening in this moment and what we focus on is always our choice. For some of us, what's happening in the moment may be challenging or painful. But in any moment, we can close our eyes and we can focus on our breath. And we can feel the air moving into our bodies, noticing our stomach or our chest rising and falling. We can take our attention away from the pain of the world or something hard that we're going through and drop into that present moment and just breathe. For those few moments, we can give ourselves a break from our lives, and the thoughts that keep us up at night. In that moment, we allow our breath to open us and to bring us back to that experience of freedom. Our bodies will thank us, our minds will thank us, and our spirit will thank us. The more we drop into the present and go within, we are training our minds and our bodies to relax, especially during times of stress and upset. When we are out in the world, we are less likely to be thrown off or triggered because we've practiced moving into the present. We've practiced focusing on our breath and focusing on the love that God is. And so we can pick our life back up when we're done being in that present space. This moment, no one can take from me. This moment is my time with God. This is my time connecting with myself and the love that I am. What a gift we give to ourselves by doing that. When we are in the present, we are in the presence of a very wise and powerful energy that knows all things, that trusts all things, and that allows all things. Our greatest answers are found right there in that present moment. Our greatest troubles are resolved there. Our greatest joy is found there. When Jesus went to the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, and when the Buddha meditated under the Bodhi tree for 49 days, both of them were tempted by negative images and visuals, things that tried to pull their attention away. And yet they continued to return to that quiet place within. They continued to return back to that present space. The ugliness that tempted them represented their thoughts and their fears and their troubles. But freedom was always there. Peace was always there. They just had to bring themselves back to that present moment long enough to experience it. Life will always place temptations on our path that we have to move through. It's part of life, and sometimes life will knock us down, and that's part of life too. But how long we stay down is up to us. How long we choose to stay stuck in the stories and the opinions and the dramas is up to us. If we're willing to take time every day to return to our breath and the present moment, and to practice embracing what is right in front of us, we will experience fewer days when we are thrown off our path. Fewer days where we feel out of sorts and disconnected from life, and fewer days when we feel like life is knocking us down. The more we practice being present, the more we can handle whatever life gives us. When we are not present, we miss the sacredness of life, the beauty of life, the joy of life. There is tremendous beauty all around us, and we miss it when we're not present and instead caught up in the busyness of our lives. There is so much wonder right in front of us. The beauty of the world is saying to us, look at me. Look at the beauty that is here. I promise you will not be disappointed. Our very existence is a gift. The fact that we can talk and walk and move through the world, what a gift. The fact that we can take one step in front of the other. The fact that our heart pumps blood through our system in the absolute perfect way without us even thinking about it. The fact that our lungs take in oxygen and our feet carry the weight of our bodies through the world. So much our bodies are capable of. and the beauty of the sun that shines in the morning, the sky, the mountains with the snow on them, the birds, the technology that allows us to be together right here, right now, the electricity, gas, water, all that allows us to live in our homes comfortably. At any moment, we can choose to focus on any of these things, pouring our attention onto them. And if you slow down for a moment and focus your attention on any one of those things, I promise you it will bring you peace. It will bring a smile to your face. When we're not present, we miss the beauty that is right in front of us. So the invitation to all of us is to practice embracing the now. We may not understand what's happening in our lives or the world, but we can choose for brief periods of time to focus on the present moment, to drop into the present moment and to breathe and to trust that all is well in this moment. All is well. This moment is where freedom is found, and it's available to all of us. As Eckhart Tolle said, embrace this moment as if you have chosen it. Let's pray. And so we drop into this present moment right here, right now. We allow our breath to bring us deep into ourselves. We feel the beauty of this moment. We feel the beauty of this experience called life. And we embrace what is happening in this moment as we connect within ourselves, as we connect with the greater power that is God. I am knowing that as we go out into our lives this week, that we are able to remember to take time to move into that present moment, to embrace this moment right now. I am knowing that we are developing a greater connection, not only to ourselves, but to God as we do this. And as we do this more, I am knowing that we are able to go out into the world and find that we are less likely to be thrown off our path, less likely to be impacted by the things we witness in the news and the things that we witness in the world, that we are able to navigate all of it with such grace and such ease as we commit to moving into that present space on a more regular basis. And so I know that this is true for each of us. I know that as we walk this earthly plane, that we are all doing the best that we can. And I am knowing that we are all of God's children, and that we are recognizing the beauty and the sacredness of life, this life that we have all been given. And so with gratitude in our hearts for remembering to take time to go within, to take time to focus on our breath, to take time to move into that present moment. We feel gratitude for this opportunity, another opportunity that we have been given to live, to enjoy, and to experience freedom in our lives, and to know that all is well. And so with that, I let this go, I release it, and I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
This is one of my favorite old Denise Rosier tunes. It's called Everything is Sacred. Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a wonder, unfolding right before our eyes. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a blessing, bursting from the earth and sky. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everyone is sacred. Everyone is filled with the divine. Everyone is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is sacred. Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a wonder, unfolding right before our eyes. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a blessing, bursting from the earth and sky. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everyone is sacred. Everyone is filled with the divine. Everyone is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is sacred. Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit.
Thank you, Jimmy. Beautiful song. So great to have you with us every Sunday. And all of you as well. We're moving into our discussion time. We're going to take 15 minutes. Erica's going to put the questions in the chat. So we hope you'll enjoy that. And the questions are relevant to my talk. So we'll move into that and we'll see you back in a little bit. Thanks, everyone.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I